Terry, and this is Sharon Miller, and we're village members, and we want to give a little testimony, but I think in order to do so, I have to go all the way back to the beginning to give you a background of where we're at present day. World War II, 1943. I was born in the middle of Poland, in the middle of the war, so that gives you a background of where I'm coming from. And from day one, I've had trouble with loss and failure in my life. I was barely 2 years old when I almost died from an epidemic in our village. I was one of the few children that survived. I lost a brother who was 18 years old in the final days of the war that I never got to know. My folks were wealthy. They had income from both parents working. They were well-to-do. We had a lovely home to the point where we had a servant. But when the war is at your doorstep, tanks rolling down the street, you have to flee with just what you've got on your back. But our parents had the foresight to come to America, and they had a vision, but they came here with nothing. They had to start literally over from scratch. But my sister and my mother and my father and myself, we've made it to America, and to come for the dream. Get a job at Whirlpool early on in the 60s during the boom years of Whirlpool. There was promotions were coming plentiful. There was a bonus time every year, but years where my failures were starting to be manifested. I was my promotions didn't come in on a regular basis, and when I finally got to the level where the bonuses were available, they changed the program where the bonuses were not what they used to be. So I felt failure there. I had a dream as a up-and-coming designer at Whirlpool that you should be able to have patents to show for your work. And my goal was always to come up with a patent. There again, I was never able to come up with a patent. I felt failure there. But meanwhile, during this time, I was married. I had 2 children. I had an apartment house with three apartments in it. I had a home. I had the good life. I was happy. But it turned out my wife wasn't happy, so I ended up with a house with a mortgage that was empty, no car. So I kind of felt like the same position my parents were in, having to start over. I was brought up, raised as a Baptist, and my goal was to do the right thing and stay true to God, but I wasn't what you consider following in the Lord's path. But something, I think my mother's prayers over all the years led me to Sharon, the Adventist church, and life turned around. We were married and prospered, but we weren't equally yoked. I was still struggling with my old Baptist beliefs, my old German beliefs, and we had a good life, but it could have been better. And I think the prayers paid off because God had mercy on me. He gave me a little flick in the head where I had a memory loss that led me to that 98, where I turned my life over to the Lord this month, 11 years ago, November. And I changed my life. I changed my heart. And from that time on, we've just had a better life together. Sharon and I, we've been able to give to the Lord, give from the heart, which is the most important thing. And I kind of felt my parents sowed the seed of giving, and not giving from the heart, giving generously. They always tithed, they always gave extra, and they weren't wrapped up in material things. And I think that's where I'm at now. We're not bound by all the material things of the world. We feel that we can do without things after going to mission trips, going seeing how other people live with what they have, and the calling for passing the gospel to the rest of the world. So we just feel blessed and compelled when you add up what we've had in our life, the good health, the loving marriage, can't be counted, can't be put in a vault in the bank, and we just feel really well where we're at. But again, though, I have to say, I feel I've failed, because my goal was I can show the Lord how much I love Him by my gifts, but yet whatever I give, He has just blessed me abundantly in return. So again, I've learned you cannot outgive the Lord. Isn't that right, Sharon?
That's so right, and that has been our emphasis in our life. You cannot outgive the Lord. It just seems like many times when we think we've given all that we can give, there just isn't any more that we could give. The Lord opens another door, and we have the means that we're able to give more. We have been so blessed. And I just want to share a verse with you that has meant a lot to Harry and I. It's in Deuteronomy 15:10. Give freely without begrudging it, and the Lord your God will bless you in everything you do.